I was only 20 going into 21, and I was thrown into the deep corners. I mean, I was sharing an office with people that are almost twice my age. You know what I mean? I mean, people were like 38, 39, 40, you know, and we're sharing the same desks, you know. So they threw me right in the deep corner, and like I really had to pick up like instantly, like what this is, what that is, what that is, you know. And thankfully, I had a very good mentor. The current MD then was Madam Mukwandi, who I still refer to as my mom almost all the time. She's a Stanbic now, so she really guided me. And I had a couple of other good friends that also guided me. So yeah, in the bank, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about transactions. I learned a lot about financing, about LCs, about letter of credits, about basically the whole know-how on the financial side is what the bank taught me, right? And then what happened was I had this one client, right? They're a very big construction company, very, very big. So they had just gotten the project of Levy Mall, building Levy Mall. And they also got a couple of government projects. So they needed a new GM in place, right? So what happened was this client of mine was my favorite client. I would go the extra mile for them. And they liked me as well. So one day they just came to my office. They were like, listen, we need to talk. So I went there and they were like, listen, we're offering you a job as a GM in our company. So I'm like, okay, really? He's like, yes. So I didn't even think twice, because that man was literally my mentor for like 2 years when I joined. I felt that is like the man, that is the man I want to be one day, because he was so good with business, like the way he related to people, the way he related to clients, the way he related in business deals, you know. It's like so confident. So I was like, this is the best man I would learn from, because in the bank itself, I knew I wanted to do business. I just didn't know what. I was like, I know I want to do business one day. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, you know. So I remember I had some failed ideas. Like at one point, I wanted to get into properties while in the bank. At one point, I wanted to like start up like an online page, something like eBay. You know, many failed tries I had while I was in the bank. But anyway, then I joined this company, and that's where I realized my passion for steel. I saw steel, and just everything about steel just excited me. You know, just like that. It was the ignition. You know, so what I did was I learned the trade. I literally learned the trade, and I was very fortunate that this man, he literally handed me his company on my lap. He's like, here, run the whole show. You know, so starting from accounting to employee issues to importing to literally everything, project management, everything. I was literally putting my hands into it, and that really helped me understand like how this business works. You know, where to get the best materials from. You know, where to source from, and like every single time you'd have a meeting with someone, you know, I would be present. So I would just watch him and be like, okay, so this is how you talk to someone. Like, he'd be so confident, and he would like convince you that you are being wrong by not giving him what he wants. You know, your life's purpose is to give him what he wants, kind of person. You know what I mean? That's the type of person he is. So I was just like, wow, you know, he can convince anyone that if this is not blue, this is green, and you'd be like, you know what, I think he is right. Maybe my eyes are wrong. You know, that's the type of guy he is. So I learned a lot from him, and I decided after 2 years that, you know what, I want to do my own thing now. So I opened up my company while I was still with him. I didn't tell him anything, and I was like looking for small little jobs here and there, small little jobs here and there, and then finally it somehow came out into the open to him, into his knowledge, that I want to start a company. He took it well. He took it very well. Okay. His partners didn't take it well. So there was a whole fight that we had back and forth. Shame, because my boss, the one who gave me the job, he did want the best for me. It's just his partners were not very happy. They're like, no, he's going into the same industry. He learned everything from us. You know. So in the end, my boss was like, listen, if this is what you want to do, I wish you all the best. I really hope you make it. You know. And he gave me some sound advice, which I'll share with you later on. So I remember that day was 31st August. I just walked out of that place. I just literally walked out of that place. And I said, you know what, a new chapter begins in life. So, so my first job that I got was with this big company in Zambia that deal in chickens, and they gave me to make 10 nest boxes, chicken boxes. It's like this size, right, where chickens actually go and lay eggs, right? So I need to make 10 of them. So each one we were charging about 5,000 kwacha, right? So I need to make 10 of them. I had no workshop, I had no machines, I had no employees, I had no office, I literally had nothing. All I had was my diary, which I still carry with me till today. I had my laptop. That's all I had. I remember once they gave me that job, I was sitting by Total Filling Station by North Mid, thinking, okay, now that I've got the job, how am I going to get it done? You know, because I don't have anything. What am I going to do? Now that I've actually got it, how am I going to do it? So what happened was I found this one guy's workshop by the compounds, right? And I subcontracted him. I'm like, listen, you do the job for me, right? I'm going to pay you this. He agreed, okay, fine. I was like, I'll get you all the materials. So I didn't have any financing. And what happened was I asked for a small little advance from these guys, and they gave me an advance, luckily. So I bought a few small machineries to give this guy. I'm like, here, this is a small baby machineries, right? And I bought the materials, whatever I could manage. And they did the job for me. And after that, the quality was extremely poor. Very poor quality. Like, it was total nonsense, right? But luckily they accepted it. It was acceptable, still more. But they say that, okay, did we make a mistake giving this guy the job? And I'm there scratching my head. I'm like, shoot, maybe I made a mistake, you know? And to make it worse, what happened was these same guys I subcontracted, they found out who these nest boxes were for. So they went to these guys behind my back, right, and went and told them that Arete Steel didn't do this job, we did this job. Oh. You know? Literally, they said, we have proof, here's the invoice. So, yeah, they showed him the invoice, and they were like, you should give us the next consignment. Don't give him. We did the job. So what happened in the end? He didn't get the job, I didn't get the job.
Oh, wow.
We both lost out. Oh. So after that, I'm like, okay, that's failure number one. Then I kept pushing. I used to sit by North Mid Filling Station, used to make phone calls, used to try and set up appointments.
So when you say North Mid Filling Station, that was your office?
That was my office, yeah.
Okay, the cafe there?
Yeah, that cafe, that big filling station.
For how long?
Whew, like a good 6 months.
Oh, okay.
6 months, about 6 months. 5 months, yeah. 5 to 6 months. So I was there and I used to make phone calls, and the thing was is that I didn't have much in savings. So whatever I had was gone into the same nest box thing, you know, whatever little I had. And it finished real quick. And to make it worse was my dad wasn't really he didn't even really have like a concrete job. What he was working on commission with some company. So sometimes if he doesn't have sales, then there's no money at all, you know. So, and here is his son who also doesn't have anything, and he's trying to create an organization. So I remember there were times where I'd actually have an appointment at 15. I remember this very clearly. I had an appointment at 15, and around 14 hours I saw my car, and I was driving a very poor car. So I saw my car and there was no fuel in my car. And I checked my wallet, I had about 20 kwacha, that's all I had. And I thought that, you know what, with this 20 kwacha I can make it back home. That's all. So what I did was I called that man and I said to him that, you know what, something else came up, I need to go to a certain site or something, I made up some story. Say that I can't make it, can we please reschedule? You know, because of this. And he was like, okay, fine, let's do it tomorrow. But truth being told was I didn't have enough money to put gas in my car to make it to his office and go back home. So I went back home and I sat there and I was almost crying, and my mom was like, what's wrong? What happened? Why are you back? I was like, I don't have fuel. You know, I don't have money for fuel. What do I do now? So she went to her closet and she gave me 100 kwacha. I remember, she gave me 100 kwacha. She's like, here, go put fuel in your car. And go back. So I'm like, Mom, don't give me this money. Money is tight already. Why are you giving me? She's like, no, I'll support you till the last breath. Whatever it is you need, I'll give you. Here, keep this 100 kwacha. And I cried that day. I'm like, jeez, man, I mean, here's my mom who's supporting me so much. Here's my dad. He never questions me. He's like, why did you leave your job? Nothing, never. He's like, it's your dream, it's what you want to do it. So basically that was the driving force in a way. So yeah, I kept pushing, and then I got my other job. It was for a church. There was a church, Redeemed Christian Church of God. They gave me a small job, and that site became my office. That was my first major site, you can say. It was like a little, very bad building, and they wanted me to refurbish it, like make it look good, basically. So that became my office then. That was my office. Right? I bought a little small desk, and I took 2 chairs from home, 2 dining table chairs from home, you know? And that was my office. That was my office for about 3 months. That was my office. And I kept hunting down for jobs, kept hunting down for jobs. And then finally I had one kind of big sale. We had a job in Ndola. It was my first major contract, kind of contract, you can say. It wasn't that big, but it was big enough. It was big enough to like support us into the next stage. So we got that job, and then that's when we finally. One day my dad. By then my dad started helping me out. The moment we got that church site, he started helping me out. So what happened? Dad was one day driving through Emmersdale, and he turned into this yard full of cars. He was like, "Let me just see this yard." And he saw a lot of junkyard. He saw a lot of junk cars, for scrap, like the cars they use for scrap, for spare parts and whatnot. Yeah, so he found a small little space on the side. So he was like, that would be a nice place for a workshop. So he looked for the owner. The owner of the place was luckily there. They chatted, and he's like, can you build my son a small little workshop here? And the guy's like, yeah, sure, okay, fine. We'll build him something small. So I went and met the owner of that place as well, and he agreed. He gave me about 2 months. Said, okay, in 2 months I'll build you a small little workshop, which he did. He built me a small little workshop. There were no ceilings. He just put those malatas. Yes, he just put the malata on top. Thank you for that. No tiles, no windows, just like open space basically, and no doors, no walls, nothing. Just like a small little room, you can say, one long room. And on the side, he just put concrete for me to have a workshop, and that's where I moved in with that that school table of mine, which I still have till today, by the way. So we moved in there. That was my office, which is still my office today, but we renovated it. We put up tiles, ACs, everything. Like it's a professional office now. We extended it and everything. But I mean, just the other day, my other worker came to me and is like, boss, I know where we came from. And one of my first employees is like, this office of yours that you're sitting in, it was our storeroom. I very well remember that. Which is the truth. It was my store. It was my storeroom. Because I would sit right at the end where the reception is now. So yeah, we moved in there, and we're doing that job in Ndola, and I didn't have any other job. So what I did was I went back to those same clients of mine, the guys with the chicken boxes and nest boxes, because I got wind that they have a major contract, major job coming up. They're putting up the entire new factory line for all the chickens, breeding. So I said, you know what? Let me go try it. I got a shot. Let me just try. I've worked with these guys before, even though it was a failure. I'll go try it again. So I can remember I used to literally bother the project manager to the point where he started getting bothered by me. He's like, listen, I'll call you when we're ready. I'll call you when we're ready. Stop messaging me all the time. Literally, that's what he's saying. So I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm just following up, and I really want you to let us quote. So finally what he did is he let us quote, and he liked our price. And we had meetings back and forth. So what he did was, these guys are very smart, so they weren't only talking to me, they were talking to another contractor as well, another steel contractor, who are very big, by the way, as well, in Zambia right now. So they were talking to us both, but they didn't let us both know that, that we're also talking to this guy. So what happened was, they gave me one of the factories to do. It's not that big, just one. We did about, 52 of those things, right? Each of them, it's a sufficient amount. So they gave me one to do, and they gave him one to do, right? And it was so smart because my site was like this end, their site was like 15 kilometers the other end. So there's no way we would know of each other's existence. And basically it was like a race, like who would finish first. Now the good point was that I knew that this is the turning point. So I focused my entire company Like literally, by then the internal thing was done. I focused my entire company workforce and the small little machineries I had to this one job, right? And we worked like crazy. And we finished before 3 weeks before schedule. 3 weeks before schedule, we handed over. Because that's the only job we're doing, so we really pushed. And that other guy, he was still coming. So what happened, they were like, okay, look, this guy is quick, he's fast, he did it, let's give him the job. And I was so shocked that afternoon, we had the meeting and they're like, okay, listen, we've decided to give you all of it. I'm like, what? It was a shock. I'm like, it's like, yeah, you're going to do all of it. So I'm like, all of it? It's like, yeah, all of it. It's 40 for now, starters. And I was like, okay, no, of course we can do it. And inside I'm like, wow, how am I going to do this? Same thing again, how am I going to do this? So yeah, we signed the contract and that was our first big sale. And then after that contract is where we bought furniture, is where we now started buying some proper machineries, is where we started buying I bought my first truck, my first 10-ton truck. I remember I took 10, 15 pictures of that truck with my phone that day, and I was even posting on Facebook. I'm like, my first truck. So yeah, I bought that truck, then I bought a van, and then we got a bit more credibility. People started giving me a few more jobs here and there, and yeah, that's basically it. And I find myself here today. That wasn't too long ago. That was just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago.
2 years and you're here.
Yeah, just 2 years ago.
So how did you find yourself on the Forbes under 30 list? I know you're 27, which I think is quite an
It's a funny story actually. It's a very funny story. My best friend, who actually I didn't mention, by the way, he was very supportive of me. So unfortunately he couldn't make it today. He gave me his actually savings, his full savings that he had. He's in employment himself. He gave me all his savings, and I was like, it wasn't even much. It was like about 60,000 kwacha, 70,000 kwacha.
For some people it's much.
Yeah, it's what I mean. But that for us it was a lot. So it's he gave it to me. He's like, here. So I'm like, dude, you don't have to give me this. He's like, no, I trust you. I fully trust you.
So was he investing in?
Yes, he invested. Okay. And he invested in a guy who has literally nothing. And he's been there through me, through thick and thin. You know what I mean? He was there. This was when we did the 10 chicken nest boxes. That's the time. So so I was sitting with him in the office one day. So we were just chatting. Oh, sorry. We were just chatting, and we were looking through these articles and whatnot. And this Forbes 30 under 30 nominations came up. So we started laughing. We were like, "Ish, what if we got there?" So we put in our name as a joke. We put in our company as a joke, right? And I was like, come on, man, this is Forbes, dude. There's no, they can never contact us. So we put in our thing, and little did I know, there was someone else who also recommended us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was someone else who I found out later on. He came and told me, like, I also recommended you. It's a good friend of mine. So
you have good friends.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to have some good friends in my lifetime. It went in as a joke, literally. It was literally a joke. Like, come on, it's Forbes. It's Africa. It's Forbes Africa. There's no way people level me. So we even forgot about it. And I was actually out of the country. When I was just checking through my phone and dinner, and then I got an email from this journalist, and it says Forbes Africa 30 under 30 nominations. So I'm like, what is this? I checked, he's like, hi Jishan, you've been nominated to be part of our Forbes 30 under 30 nominees, and we need this requirements from you. We need this information. So I was like, wow, okay. Just the mere fact that I was considered as a nominee was big enough for me. So I remember I actually answered all their questions in the plane. While I was in the plane, I was actually typing because they gave me a deadline, literally, like we need it before this day, and they sent me that email 2 days before. So I was like a late entry kind of thing, So I remember I was actually typing it in the plane, you know what I mean, on my flight back here. And when I landed, I quickly connected my phone and I emailed it to them. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. 2 weeks later, they emailed me again. They're like, okay, look, we loved your story, we loved your background. You're in the top 60. you're in the top 60. And they're like, it's a big deal. So now we need the proper information now. So they started asking me for my financials, started asking me for my client references, supply references, all these things, who you've done business with, and a couple of other things. So I was like, wow, okay, this is getting real. So I sent them all the stuff. So by then I was like, inside I was like, wow, maybe we might have a chance. But then I still kept it like, come on, it's Forbes. I mean, there should be some other guy in South Africa or Nigeria or Ghana or somewhere who's much better than what I've been doing. So like after a week after that, they emailed me again, and they were like, okay, listen, you're in the top 40. You're in the top 40. And this is a huge deal, right? The mere fact that you've made it to the top 40 is a big thing. You must be proud of yourself. We need one more information from you, and this, and we need a picture of yours. Could you please send us that? So I sent him that, and I'm like, okay, you know what? 40, I'm happy, I'm done, I'm okay, I'm content. There's nothing more I need. It doesn't matter if I don't come to the 30. My best friend, when he saw that email, he's like, dude, congrats. I'm like, I'm just in the 40s. He's like, no, you have made it. Trust me, you have made it. They're just playing with you. Those were his words. They're just playing with you. So I'm like, come on, man, it's 40. He's like, no. I truly believe you have made it. You'll see. And literally a week later, he was actually sitting opposite me, and email just came through. Congratulations, you're in the top 30. You've been selected. And I was shaking, I'm like, I was like, mate, there's something you gotta see. He saw it, he read it, he's like, what did I tell you? I was fully confident. I knew you made it. So I actually couldn't believe it that I actually was on that 30, because what literally started out as a joke came out to be true, So that's when I told all my friends that what you think here, your thoughts are ain't no joke, huh? What you really think about, it really manifests into a reality. Because, to be honest, when I sent in the nomination, I'll look in the mirror, we're wearing a suit, I'll be like, wow, maybe this picture, this view is like on Forbes, If I was on Forbes, I'll maybe be like this. That little pose of I'll feel like that. You know what I mean? And it really manifested. It literally manifested into reality. So that's how I got into Forbes.
No, congratulations. I think that's an achievement, and thank you for putting Zambia on the map, especially for the under 30, I think. So what attributes do you think have made you successful? I mean, there's so many young entrepreneurs out there, people who want to get into entrepreneurship, or they're at a crossroads. What are some of the things that you think they should be considering?
Okay, first of all, the person who starts out entrepreneurship, the one thing that I've learned from my little 4 years of experience in entrepreneurship is what is success to you? That's what you got to define first. What is success to you, right? Because unfortunately, we have this whole portray in the media that the media puts in our head that success equals money, success equals power, success equals that brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG, success equals that mansion. First of all, you need to define what really is success to you, And once you define that, then you will know that, okay, look, this is success to me. This is where I want to be. This is what I gotta do. And then you jot down all your points that for me to get there, this is how I'm gonna get there. So, for example, if someone wants to start entrepreneurship, he must first ask himself, why do I want to start entrepreneurship? Why? Why do I want to start it? Is it that I want to look cool?
Why did you start?
Why did I start it? Mm-hmm. I just hated working for someone. I used to read too many books. I used to read too many of these Forbes magazines, all the way from 2014. I used to read all these inspirational stories. It's just like a seed that went in my head that I am much more than this. I am much more than this. Like, I just need to try something. Because basically, what was that? I saw my father grow up. While I was growing up, I saw my father as a businessman. And I really looked up to him in every single way. And I was like, look, I want to be like that one day. I want to do business one day, but I didn't know what it was, right? And I used to read all these books, and I used to read all these magazines. I used to follow all these entrepreneurs. So evidently, I'll be very honest, Shupe. In the beginning, what I was after was success to me was also money. That's what was in the beginning in my head. You know, I hated being broke.
Okay, then we're all fine. We all want money.
I hated being broke. Yeah, I hated being broke. You know, I hated being broke. I hated waiting for a salary. I hated the fact that, you know, like I couldn't do much more than this needs. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's in the beginning. That's what motivated me. Like, you know what? There's more to life than this. So yeah, like if a young Zambian man wants to be an entrepreneur, of course money is important. But one thing you must ask yourself is that, number one, like I said, why do I want to get into entrepreneurship? What is it that would make me, you know, better as a person if I get into entrepreneurship? You know. The second thing is you must be ready to take on the challenges, right? Entrepreneurship isn't that, okay, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur now, I call myself a CEO, you know, I'm the CEO, I'm the MD, you know, I can come whenever I want, I can do whatever I want. If I don't feel nice today, I'll just stay home. And I can guarantee you, entrepreneurship is not about that. Entrepreneurship is much like just today I was telling a friend of mine, he was telling me, oh, I'm so stressed, and he's in employment. And I'm like, trust me, I wish I could have your stress. I was like, I wish I could have your stress. And I started laughing. I'm like, I'm serious. I wish I could have your stress because I'm in employment. Employment stress, right, is, to compare to entrepreneurship stress, is like a little particle of sand, a drop of a little particle of sand in a beach. That's the way I can compare entrepreneurship stress to employee stress. Having worked before, yes. Right now, I'll be like, Access Bank, I was living the life, you know? My other funds, I was living the life. After 18 hours, it's done. I'm done. Now it's stress follows me everywhere, you know? So, yeah, like going back to this, they have to understand that they will face so many challenges, so many challenges on the way, and they must be ready and willing to take these challenges face on, you know, and not complain. Of course, everyone wants to complain. You know, I have this theory that if you take a beating, it's okay to cry, it's okay to moan, it's okay to just say, why me? Complain. But give yourself 24 hours, one day to complain. One day, just one day. Go home, cry your eyes out. Complain. Say the world is unfair to me. Do everything. The following day, tell yourself it's a brand new day. Let's try again. Give yourself 1 day to grieve. 1 day, not more than that. You will fail. You will have challenges. So, as a startup entrepreneur, you will have all these challenges coming up. Like, you'll feel everything is against you. Everyone will be against you. Like, there are many people that will want to see you succeed, but there are more people that will want to see you fail. You know, and I learned that the hard way. I thought everyone loved me. Yeah, I'm being honest. I was like, I'm a good person. I'm always nice to people. Why would someone hate me? You know, and then I learned the true facts of life. That not everyone wants to see you succeed. In whichever way. Not everyone wants to see you achieve your goal. In whichever way it is that you want. You know, so as a young entrepreneur, you need to understand that you're going to face plenty of challenges along the way. Plenty of challenges. So you must be willing and ready to take those challenges head on for something that you believe in. So, and the most important thing, third, is you need to have a passion for what it is that you're doing. Don't do it because you were told it has a lot of money in it. You know, that's one of the bad things I see nowadays. Like a lot of people talk about, especially youngsters. They're like, oh, you know, this thing has a lot of money in it. Maybe I should try that. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in it. But if that's your motivation, if only money is what you're chasing after, I can guarantee you, you're going to fall. There's nowhere you're going to go. There is nowhere you will ever go. There's nowhere. You're going to have a passion for something, right? You're going to have a passion. Like with you, you have a passion. This is your passion, right? You're not after it for the money. You're not, exactly. You're not after it for the money. You're after it because you feel nice talking to someone, like me, example, to many other people. You feel nice. You just told me you like celebrating people, right? That's your passion. That makes you happy. You know what I mean? What happens? The money just follows you. It just follows. It just follows. Or it can avoid. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that money should not be your motivating factor. It should not be a motivating factor. You know what I mean? Your passion, your happiness should be your motivating factor. You must be happy. Like with me, in my first job that I was doing, the first church that I was doing, I got a bus. I would drive my workers and drop them. I'll pick them up, take them to site, and then drop them again. Right? I would pay their salaries at the end of the month. I would have literally nothing in my pocket. I promise you. But I went home happy. I was very happy. I'm like, you know what? I achieved. I paid their salaries, I bought the materials, site is moving, I'm happy. Even if I don't have enough money in my pocket, it'll follow one day, it'll come one day. It'll come one day. Even now. Money should not be a motivation. Some people it is. If that's what you're after, well, good luck. I hope it does come. To some people it does come. They're very smart with numbers, they know what they're doing. But for true happiness, for you to have true contentment, you really need to find your passion. Right? If you want to get into entrepreneurship, find your passion. See what makes you happy. Right? Find what really makes you happy. And then after that, you're going to be like, okay, fine. How do I add value? How do I add value to it? That's one of the advices my boss told me, my previous boss told me, that always choose a business where you're adding value. Add value to something. Then you will 100% achieve. 110% you will achieve. Always find something that you add value to. Right? So if you can have all these traits, then I don't see what will stop a young Zambian man or woman to start entrepreneurship and find her goals and achieve her goals.
So talking about your previous boss, earlier you mentioned that you're going to share some of the sound advice that he gave you. Maybe you could just share that now.
Yeah, well, that was one of them. He told me that, look...
adding value.
Adding value. Mm-hmm. The other thing he told me was the same thing I just told you now, that don't go after money. Because he told me that, Jishan, I went after money before. I loved money. I went after money. And I lost out big. I lost out very big. Because I went after money. Go after work. Go after value. Money will follow you. That was one of the biggest advices he gave me. Money will follow you. And he also told me that whatever happens, don't give up. Whatever happens, don't give up. So this is just some of the things he told me. And as I went into my entrepreneurship journey, I have literally seen how sometimes you just put your faith in something working out and just say, you know what, I won't give up. Something will work out. Just literally, with all doors are literally closed on you, boom, 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 there's no way out. You're like, now what? And all of a sudden something just comes and it just helps you out, because all you had to do was just not give up. That's it. And that's all the biggest advices I can give my fellow colleagues, that no matter how hard the road gets, you should never, ever, ever give up. Because failure is imminent. Failure is imminent. I can tell you guys right now that 9 out of 10 times you're going to fail. When you start your entrepreneurship journey or whatever it is you're starting, 9 out of 10 times you're going to fail. It's just that one time that you will succeed on it. And just that one time, that one break is all you need to excel you to the next step. And over there, again, you're going to deal with failure. Like they say, defeat is not the true failure. Not having tried is the true failure. Not having tried is the true failure. You will face defeat. You will face defeat. I mean, if you track back all these people, like Abraham Lincoln, I'm sure everyone knows the story. He failed spectacularly. In business, he went bankrupt. He lost the Senate. He lost the election so many times, and he became the president. You know what I mean? There's so many people out there that have literally, there's so many people, and all you hear is like, they fail.
Yeah.
Like Stephen King, one of the greatest novelists we have. He threw one of his novels into the trash. He was like, you know what, it's worthless. And look at us today. I mean, everyone talks about him. You know what I mean? So failure is imminent, no matter what. It's just the people who choose not to give up, right? The people who choose not to give up, the stubborn ones, who say that, you know what, I'll try again. You know what, I'll try again. The really stubborn ones, who just don't take no for an answer, are the ones who actually go into the next step, who are the ones who actually find themselves on top. Just one way or the other. You just need to trust that things will work out sometimes. You just trust it, that it's going to work out. Yeah.
another question with regards to currently where you are. You have how many people have you currently employed?
We have about 90 people right now.
90. Okay, and from the story that you shared earlier, I mean, one of the challenges you had obviously was you delivered poor quality chicken.
Boxes, yeah. Yes.
So currently, how do you ensure that you're maintaining a certain quality when it comes to service delivery with all those people that you've employed? Mm-hmm. Like taking your vision down to each and every person that you have.
When I was doing that big sale I got for the chicken breeders, where I was doing the whole factory, I remember I would be on site up to 11 in the night myself. I would make these guys work up to 11 in the night. So how it was working was my dad would take the day shift, right? He would come there by 8 and he would leave by 15, 16, and then I would come in at 15, 16, and then I went all the way up to 10, 11 in the night because we had to go constantly. So then we were doing it ourselves because we had our machine, we had our small workshop that was expanding. So, but right now, we've been fortunate enough, we've hired. I have 2 workshop managers working for us. One of them's job is to go up to sites and see that the site is moving well, and the other one is just based right in the workshop. All he does is just check what they're doing, check their welding, check this, you know. And I also take a stroll sometimes here and there, just check. So that's how we're doing. Of course, like I say, failure is imminent. I mean, sometimes we had some poor quality come up here and there. Sometimes we have some challenges come up here and there. But we said, you know what? Let's try again. Let's try and rectify it quickly. Let's try and rectify it. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how we do it now.
Okay, interesting. An business management, and now managing steel, and ensuring quality is spot on.
Before, when I started out, my marketing was door to door, knock on doors, make a whole list, go to this person, hey, here's a company profile, we exist. Actually, even now I still do that, I go to the big boys and I'm like, listen, hey, we exist, we've been doing this. Door to door is one of the most vigilant way to do it yourself. You do it door to door. Of course, once you get to the next stage, like what I did was to make myself get known. I went into serious vicious advertising. Like I went here like a bulldog, you know, where I put up billboards everywhere, and I put up these wall boards everywhere, you know. Like I literally was at the point that, you know what? Because what happened was there was once I walked into someone's office, and he didn't even let me sit down. You know, and he didn't even look up at me. He kept looking at his computer. Right, and he was like, okay, and I was like, here's our company profile. And he looked, he took it, put it on the side, okay, we'll call you. Nothing, like literally. And that annoyed me so much. I remember I was so upset. I'm like, this man, can you really be that arrogant? Anyway, so what happened was after we got this job here and there, I was like, you know what, I'm tired of constantly having to like always just first time introduce myself. So what I did was I put up all these billboards all around town. I put up all these wall adverts, and it really worked. Like really worked. Where everyone was like, "Oh, Arete Steel. I've seen that somewhere." That's basically what I was thinking. But then again, marketing-wise, you need to know what business you're in, what kind of clients you're targeting. You know, what's your customer base. Like my clients are different from another type of business. Like let's say the guys who make soap, detergent soap. You know what I mean? The way they advertise will be completely different from the way I advertise. They need to advertise to the lower community, you know what I mean? They need to go into like Kulimatawa, they need to go into like all this, you know, where traffic is heavy, you know, the everyday man music. Right? And like for me, I need to go into like people that would want to build, you know. So I put up billboards like just by Manda Hill, Greatest Road, right? Where like I know around this time there's heavy traffic with all these big guys that are going home, so you know they would see. You know, the guys who actually build all these things, you know. So you got to know who you're targeting, define your customer base first, and then after that, see which best way is to market this thing. Like one of the best marketing campaigns in Zambia, you can say, as an example, Trade Kings. I mean, the way they do their marketing is amazing. It's amazing, and I see them in the compounds. They set up these little these little stages from the car, and they just start singing, and they bring a musician to start, and like they get a whole crowd, and they give out the free drinks, just like that. They get their drinks tasted, and just like that. So, but you can't expect me to do that. I can't go and start putting up a show and say, "Oh, Arete Steel structures, get steel structures from us." It won't make sense. You know what I mean? So you need to know how you're gonna market your target audience, right? So yeah, that's the way. You gotta define your target audience, and then after that, you will eventually know, like, okay, I gotta market like this. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. But the best form of marketing is door to door. We exist. That's the best way. Like I said, it depends on the type of business. We have a Facebook page. We advertise on Facebook. We have a Facebook page as well because we never know. I mean, we could reach someone, who's just like, "Oh, I saw him on Facebook." Actually, there were 2 clients who actually came in who saw us on Facebook. One of them gave us a job. The other one was like, okay. But like example for your business, for example, you must take advantage of this internet phase that we have, because Facebook is quite cheap advertising, very cheap advertising, because we've done it, compared to the traditional ways, you know what I mean? Like putting up the billboards or going to the flyers. So as a starter, your number one aim is costs. How do I save my costs, but yet have the greatest output? So online marketing is one of the best ways to do it, because it's cheap. It's so cheap, and you get a huge target audience, huge target. Like my friend just recently opened up. He opened up a restaurant/bar, right? Which we built for him, right? And he used Facebook to like bring it out, and it's a hit. Like so many comments, so many likes, and every one of the comments is like, "Guys, birthday things, hashtag this, hashtag that." It's like, "This weekend is where we're getting turned up. This weekend, this," and I was thinking, wow, that's the power of Facebook. That's no wonder it's one of the greatest companies in the world right now, because it has that much of power and it's cheap. So that actually I feel is one of the greatest ways to advertise yourself. So like I said, it depends on the business you do, like that boutique business. They should take advantage. But there are other types of business that maybe you'd have to go the traditional way, in the more to like give out flyers or like like door-to-door marketing or billboards or whatever it is. So it really depends on the type of business you're doing onto the marketing strategy. Yeah. Right now, where I am at life is I'm nowhere close to being successful, in the sense that, like I said earlier on, you gotta first define what's success, right? My definition of success is not really power or like the latest car. Before it was, but right now, like after dealing with so many challenges, so many scenarios and everything, right now I have like a complete different view on success, right? Which is my view on success. Money is great, of course I want money too, but what I'm really aiming for, as you say, what's next, is I'm aiming for a point where I have complete peace of mind. That's what I am aiming for right now, complete peace of mind, where I wake up in the morning, I have no stress. Of course you have stress here and there, but peace of mind is what I'm aiming for right now. You understand what I mean? So if peace of mind comes to me, then I'll be like, now I'm successful. Money, of course, I have my plans. Okay, after this, I want to do this. I want to maybe expand into this. Or maybe expand into this. Of course, I do want our company to expand a bit more, right? But what's next, like you say, is for me, right now, I'm already making plans 10 years in. Like, okay, 10 years time, I need to be less stressed. I need to be less vigilant. I need to relax more. I want to enjoy life more. I want to travel more. I want to see this. I want to see that. I want to see that. How should I position myself so that I should be able to do that? Where on a Monday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like, I don't want to go to work. I don't need to go to work. I know the company is still running, and at the end of the month, I'll still have an income coming. I'm just like, I just want to travel today. I just want to just go see this. I just want to spend time with my family today. You know what I mean? That's the level I want to reach now. That's what's next for me, you can say. Like complete peace of mind. I picked up on Forbes magazines, and there's one book, two books actually, that really changed my outlook on life. That really, I can say, that really inspired me.
Can you share that one?
Yeah, I will. It's the first book, I'll say, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I don't know how many of you have read that. And the second one is The Secret. The Secret. These two books, literally, like especially The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It's a story about a certain lawyer who achieved success, complete success, but really wasn't successful. You know, he achieved success in the sense of money, power. He had the best car and everything, but then he had a heart attack and almost died. And then, yeah, basically that's what the story starts off from. So I really recommend that people read that book. In terms of inspiration, I would say the one who I really look up to a lot was the late Steve Jobs. I used to read a lot about him. Like I used to check articles, online articles. Like I literally know that man's whole history. Like if you ask me that, okay, how did he do this? I literally know it. Like I read it so many times, you know. I was like, Steve Jobs is the man. Steve Jobs knew what he was doing. You know, the other person is very controversial, but as a businessman, he is amazing.
Donald Trump.
He is Donald Trump. You laugh now, but I have read his books.
I agree with you.
I have read his books.
He's successful when it comes to business. We can't.
Let me ask you guys this. When he set out his nomination for presidency, who in here thought he would actually win? No
one.
Okay, so you are a big visionary, I can say. You can read the future. But the fact is, he won. He won. He had a goal in his head. I am going to become the president of the United States of America. You know, and he was the biggest joke. Everyone laughed at it. You know, still is. But he's the president. He's achieved it. You know. Okay, that's another topic. We're not here to discuss that. But yeah, like his business ideas. His business ideas was also like, I'll tell you, from Donald Trump, one of his books, I learned this thing, like the acronym for focus. The acronym for focus. He said that there's an acronym for focus. You know, focus is just not focus. Focus stands for something. Focus means focus on course until successful. You know, focus on course until successful. He said that you just got to keep grinding, keep going, keep moving. You know, it's like challenges will come here and there, but you just put your mind to it and say, I am not going to stop until I get it. You know, and that's why I have this saying. I tell myself every time that it's not over until I win. You know, it's not over until I win. I just believe that literally that why can't I do it? Why won't I do it? You know, just the belief alone will take it forward.
There's a lesson for all of us from Donald Trump.
Okay, first of all, I'm a Muslim, right? That's my religion that I practice, and in our religion, interest is a big no-no. We cannot deal with interest, so the bank is out right there. Yeah, it's not an option for us. Like it's a big no-no, and I really respect God. I really fear Him, so I wouldn't want to go there. But like you say, yes, in the future, if we could, we would accept financing, and we would be, you know, depending upon the deal, how lucrative it is, how well it is, we would be willing to give out equity in that sense, in that financing, if the financing is good enough, if it actually meets our requirements, and if the investor and ourselves, we agree to a certain percentage, that okay, look, this much percentage you're happy with, okay, we're also happy with, then yes, we can give out equity. To some point, yes, we can. That's the type of financing that we would want to take. Someone investing in our company. You need to first find your passion and ask yourself, why should I go into entrepreneurship? Or, look, like, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that in order to be successful in life, you have to be an entrepreneur. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily mean that for me to be someone, for me to be recognized, I have to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't necessarily mean that. If you're happy with the job that you're doing, if it makes you happy, if it truly makes you happy and you love it, you know, Let's stick by it. Let's stick by it. I know many people who are in employment, right, and they've really rised up the ranks, and they're so happy. They love what they do. I've never seen them sad. Like literally, I've never seen them sad from work. I've never. And I'm like, wow, man, I really wish I could achieve your sense of thing, you know? And they'll be like, no, come on, you're an entrepreneur, you're the big guys, we're just employees. I'm like, no, that's not it. You are happy. You are always happy. You are content. You know, so, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be an entrepreneur. But if they do want to be an entrepreneur, they need to first identify what it is I am going to do. Okay, I'm going to do this. Why am I going to do this? Because of this, because of that, because of that, because I love it. Okay, how am I going to help people? How is it going to add value into the market? It's going to add value like this, like this, like this, like this. You know, and then after that, can you take the next step? Okay, how am I going to do it? I wish I brought my book with me. I would have shown you guys. It's a book from 2013. I actually sometimes I still read it. I'll show it to you. Sometimes I still read it. My entire startup strategy has been laid out in that book. Myself, I've been writing. Find a van, find a small van, pay in installments, find a small workshop, buy baby machinery, look for employees, target these people. Like literally. Sometimes I just sit in my office and I read to inspire myself. You know? Like so, yeah, so like I said, they need to, it's all about a passion. You need to find a passion first. What it is that you want to do. Don't go after it because of the money. You know? But, oh, there's money in this. Like, I'll tell you, there's someone I know, he started steel as well, but he started selling steel, and he came to me saying, Jishan, steel, there's money, huh? Ah, there's money in steel, there's money. So I'm like, I just laughed. I'm like, okay. Less than a year down the line, I see he closed. He's closed. He's gone and joined his family business. He's now working in his family business. He closed. Like less than a year down the line, he closed. It was not his passion. He went after it for the money. He went after it for the money. It was not his passion. So what happens when you go after it for the money, not passion? When things get rough, you give up. But if you're passionate about it, you're determined about it, you know, then when things get rough, you're like, no, I can't give up. I believe in this. I believe in this. Like, I was seeing the other day interview from Elon Musk. You know, I'm sure you know Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla Motors, SpaceX, Tesla Motors. It's one of the first electronic cars in the world, one of the best electronic cars in the world. He's the man who was planning to put man on Mars. He's the one who was putting up that project, SpaceX. You guys must read up on him, Elon Musk. He's a South African man in America. So he was saying that they asked him that, don't you fear of like falling? Like you take all these bold steps. He's the one who invented PayPal. I'm sure you've heard of PayPal. He's the one who invented PayPal. He invented PayPal. He sold PayPal for billions of dollars, and he opened Tesla Motors and SpaceX with his own money, and literally went broke, where he had to borrow money to pay rent. You know, and like just a year ago, 2 years, a year ago, he was saying that during the Christmas Eve, they were going to declare bankrupt for Tesla Motors and SpaceX, right? And then they just won a contract with NASA for $1 billion, right, to put some things up in space, and that's what saved them. Like literally, that's what saved them. Elon Musk. You guys must read up on him. It's very amazing. So they asked him that, don't you feel scared? You know, you take all these bold risks. So he's like, it's not to say that I don't fear. I fear quite strongly. I feel fear very strongly, very, very strongly. But sometimes you just believe in something so much. You just love something so much where you're willing to take the risk and just head on, go into fear. And I can guarantee you, from my personal experience, when you face your fears, the outcome is brilliant. It's brilliant. When you face your fears, the outcome is always to your favor. 9 out of 10 times, it's always to your favor. You know? Behind the church there was a big ground for parking for cars. It was a gravel ground, so we played football there. And I fell down so many times. I cut myself here, I hit my head here, I bled, you know, and we played, basically doing all this playing and everything with all my friends. And I was fortunate enough to mix with everyone. all kinds of crowd, to the most local people I mixed with, and it was amazing. Like, my favorite fondest memory is buying frizzes for 1,000 kwacha. Remember, 500 kwacha that time was, yeah. I used to buy frizzes, just outside our gate, I was selling frizzes. I used to take my mom buy frizzes, and I eat frizzes with my friends, that was a favorite childhood memory. And if a book was written about me, if the title, I would say, The Bengal Tiger of Africa.
The what?
The Bengal Tiger of Africa. The Bengal, because I'm originally Bangladeshi. So the Bengal tiger is a very special animal, a very special tiger. Like, there are only very few in the world right now, and they're very highly regarded. As the Bengal tiger. Google it up, the Bengal tiger. It's a very it's like a panda, you can say. Very indigenous animal. So that's also the Bengal tiger of Africa, because I love Africa. Africa is my home. But of course I also have my culture, my original culture. So I have a bit of both. Like, my favorite meals sometimes is shima with rape and beans, and the other times I would like to have my Bengali meals as well. So yeah, it's a bit of both. Yeah.
So, Jishan, your final words.
My final words. Thank you, first of all, so much for having me. And I just want to let you guys know that in life, you will always face challenges in every aspect, whether it be business, whether it be anything, studies, whether it be whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Remember, life will not hand it over to you. It will never hand it over to you. It won't. You really got to fight for it. You really got to struggle for it. Like I say, failure is imminent. You will fail, no matter what. No matter what. But you just need to have the belief that you will achieve it. That belief has put man on the moon. America believed, Neil Armstrong believed that I can be on the moon. 10 years before the moon landing, if we talked about putting man on the moon, you'd be like, how'd you put man on the moon? There's no way we can get there. But, the Wright brothers believed that man should fly like a bird. And they did it. It's all about the belief. It's all about the belief in yourself. Right? You just need to believe in yourself that you're way greater than what you think or what people think. Don't listen to what people say. Every single person is talented in this world. Every single person has a talent. Everyone. There's not a single talentless person in this world. Everyone has a talent. Find that talent. Like there's this saying by Buddha. Once a man went and asked him that, what's my purpose in life? I don't know my purpose in life. What's my purpose in life? And they answered to him that the purpose of a man's life is to find his purpose. It's true. It's very true. The purpose of a man's life is to find your purpose. What's your purpose? What is your purpose? And one more thing I'll say is always try to do good to others. Always try to do good for others, because at the end of the day, you will not be remembered by the money you made. You will not be remembered by the money you made. You'll be remembered by the hearts you touched, by the legacy you left behind. You'll be touched by the fact that someone would sit down and say, remember how Jishan or remember how Shupe used to talk about this, and how she changed this person's life, and how she just inspired me. All the happy, fond memories that we had with her. No one would remember, he made $1 million, I made $1 billion. So what? No one will remember you for that. The fake people will remember you for that.
That's true.
Always touch someone's heart. Ask yourself, what good have I done to someone today? What good have I done for someone today? Whenever you find the opportunity to do something good for someone, don't even hesitate. Jump to it. Like, literally jump to it. Because the universe will give it back to you 10 times fold. I've literally seen this happen 10 times fold. It will give it back to you. So always try and do something good. Make a change, a small change. Even plant a tree. A tree 50 years from now will be a huge tree, giving mangoes to little children, feeding children. So always try and do good. And lastly, I would say that keep this in your head. It's not over until I win. This is what I told myself when I just started my business. It's not over until I win. You know, failure is not an option for me. Failure is not an option for me. You know, it's not over until I win. I will win. That's when the game is over. I failed. I got defeated. Okay, come back, try again. So remember, keep that in mind. It's not over until you win, because you will win. Everyone is gifted. Everyone has a talent, like I say, and God is with everyone. God will always be there with you. If your intentions are right, you know, if you really, really believe in something, and it's the right thing, you will win no matter what. You just got to keep fighting until you reach it. So yeah, those are my last remarks. And of course, thank you so much for having me in this startup grind. And I really appreciate the fact that you chose me to be on your panel. I mean, I've seen the other people that have been on your panel. I was telling her actually that you've had big boys in your panel. I mean, why did you choose little me in your panel here? But yeah, really thank you so much for having me here. It's been a great honor to be here and be able to talk and share my story with people. And I hope I've been able to inspire one person at least. Then I think I'm successful tonight.
Aren't we feeling inspired? No, I mean, you know what? We're the ones who should actually say thank you for coming. You've shared so much that we've learned. And we look forward to seeing big things coming from you in future, and you mentoring people. Yeah, so thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And thank you to our partners. I would like to thank Casa Potico. I think they've been amazing. They've been hosting us and they've been providing amazing snacks. Thanks to Katerina. I also want to just recognize the volunteers. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into putting up an event like this. Can the volunteers please stand? I think you just did, you know, you've been amazing.